What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mad About Toys. We got Mr. Freeze here. When this figure was announced, I was so excited. The pictures that the photographer at McFarlane were great. And then we get the pre-order pictures and there's basically no paint on it. I got it anyways because it looked like a great figure and I thought with just a little bit of paint I can make this look pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint this up, give it some black, maybe some silver. We'll see what happens, but I'll take this off camera. You're going to want to stick around and see how this turns out. And we finally got our Mr. Freeze done, and I am so happy with how this turned out. When I set out to do some of these things, they don't always turn out the way that I envision. I'm not a professional by any means, as you could probably tell, but this thing, to me, the way that I envisioned it, turned out excellent. I love the way that it looks on my shelf. It just looks so much better than how it came with all the white on it. I envisioned that he would have silver and blue. So that's what I did. I hit it up with a black, and then I hit it up with a blue, and then I hit it up with a silver, and hit it up with some blue, more blue. So it was a long process. It took a lot to cover all that white. But again, I think that it worked out great. If this is something that you're interested in doing, I'll break it down with all the paints that I used here in a moment. But let's take a closer look at Mr. Freeze. I really tried to mix the three colors together to get this kind of metallic blue color. First, I had to get rid of all the white and I painted it all black. And I'm sure there's some spots that I can go over, but for the most part, I'm very, very happy with this. I did not touch the face whatsoever. I thought it was great. The boots, I went silver. Gloves, I went silver. Not the gloves, but the, I guess, gauntlets, whatever those wrist things are called. Went silver. And didn't really put too much other paint on them. Gun, same thing, just put on like a wash. And hit the Freeze Blast up with some blue, silver, bit of wash. And I think that turned out alright. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. The back I didn't spend quite as much time on, hitting it up with like the blue and whatnot. Just thought, you're not going to see that. There's a white joint there, never hit that up. But from the front you can't really see any of that, so the belt was a little difficult. I decided to go with silver at the end, and I think it turned out alright. I could paint some of these knobs here. Maybe hit that up with a red. There's definitely some spots that I'd like to hit it up with a red. I just didn't want to fuck it up, really. Let's take a look at the paints that I used. Alright, for those that are interested, I got another project on the go here, and at the end of this video, I'll show you a sneak peek of what that is. But for those people that are actually interested in doing something like this, here's the process of what worked for me. I am not a professional by any means, but my wife is, so I do ask her for tips from time to time. But with this one, she doesn't know anything about model paints, and it was very strange. I went out and bought a blue, and it was so watery, it just would not stick on this figure at all, just run right off, and that's this blue right here from Testers. Why that happens, if there's any professionals out there that know a lot about this stuff, please let me know in the comment section. Why are these different consistencies? The silver, I use the silver so much on different figures, and it always turns out awesome in my opinion. It's just got a nice thickness to it. What I do is I put it on the paintbrush and I wipe it almost completely off, so there's just a little bit on there, and just kind of go to town, and it gives you that nice used finish as opposed to brand new clean look. The black here, that's what I used to cover up all the white. Took a few coats, probably 3 coats, and I just kept going back at little parts that I could see the white So I did that first, let it dry for a few days, and then hit it up with the silver. That's when I went out and bought the blue, and it did not work at all. Like I mentioned, it was just too watery. I couldn't get it to stick on the figure. So I went with cheap dollar store paint, and that did the trick to add that blue tinge. And I, like I keep mentioning, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm really, really happy with how this guy turned out. And so that blue tinge there just made it perfect, in my opinion, of what I envisioned in my head and the look that I was going for. And the last thing I use a lot on a lot of figures is Testors wood stain. You put it on, it doesn't really dry that fast, and you can wipe it off, so it just again gives it a little bit more of a used, dirty, grimy look to it. Works out great when your figures look too clean for the character that they are. So very, very happy with how this turned out. Let me know again in the comment section what you guys think of this Mr. Freeze. Do you have the original Mr. Freeze with all the white, or this Mr. Freeze with all the white, and are you happy with that? I certainly wasn't. When I saw the promo pictures, I definitely thought he had more color on him than he did. Just all that white off. Man, I don't know what they were thinking coming out. And I couldn't even find any reference to this figure and the way that they designed it online at all. I looked a lot. So if you know which reference he used for this figure, for all the white, please drop me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to look at that figure. The exclusive one that he's coming out with, the blue, so all the white is replaced with blue. I have seen that figure in the comics, but not all white. There's definitely images that with the lighting show that he's white, but upon closer inspection, the costume's more gray, and then it gives it a white tinge with the light that the artist draws it in. But again, that's it for this guy. We're really, really happy with how he turned out. Got one more sneak peek for what's coming up next on the channel, so let's do that. I was in a store in Mississauga, Ontario called Rerun Collectibles. If you live in the area, check them out. And lots of vintage stuff. Very cool. A lot of bins with just old figures. And that's where I found this one. Bebop and his bike here. The Bebop's 4 or 5 inches tall. So I thought maybe it'll fit for Zorana. And I can make like a hog for her. And it's a little small, but as you can see, she's fitting in there all right. I'm gonna do some customization on this one. If you guys are interested in that and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll work on this one and I'll drop that in a week or so. Things always come up. I hope to have that Mr. Freeze one done last week, but a lot of different news broke and did videos on that instead. So things will always come up. I'm always dropping videos, news, reveals, reviews, and a little bit of customization. Love vehicles, so anytime I can get a vehicle like this that I could put in my G.I. Joes, mainly for my G.I. Joes is what I look for vehicles for. I'm going to absolutely do it and give it a try. Always hit up those thrift stores, see what they got. But this one here, with the Bebop, was 12 bucks for the bike and the Bebop. Gave the Bebop to my son, and I'll see what I can do with this bike here. But that'll do it. I really appreciate you guys watching this one. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All done the video.